podcast you're about to listen to is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of horror movie fans who chose to listen to the Huge Horror Movie Podcast.
With your host, Killian Gore. He took a wrong turn, dinner is served. He took a wrong turn, dinner is served. Prepare to be stoked by hideously deformed cannibals in West Virginia. The people are animals. He took a wrong turn, dinner is served. Took a wrong turn, now dinner is served. 3 fingers and his mutant clan of homicidal hillbillies. They're gonna take you to pieces, you out of town silly billies. You took a wrong turn, dinner is served. He took a wrong turn, dinner is served. All right, woo! Thank you. We'll just put that guitar down. Some people might say it should be left down permanently, never to appear on the show again. Those are the lyrics. Is that an annoying noise for you? Right, welcome to the Huge Horror Movie Podcast. I'm Killian Gore, and welcome to the show. Can I just scooch this microphone slightly that way? Did it go? I do hope it didn't. Right, so yeah, Wrong Turn. We're looking at Wrong Turn this episode, and the movie in the BG is obviously Wrong Turn, even though there's 6 of them, soon to be 7. But where is 7? Where's 7 gone? I should say the movie in the BG is literally in the BG because I only have it on Region A Blu-ray, and the telly over there I should normally look at. I don't have a multi-region player hooked up to it. So it's on the one behind me. But I've got a mirror hooked up to the desk where I'm watching it in front of me, but reverse. So all the writing will be backwards. Or I could look behind me, but then you wouldn't hear me as well because I'm looking the wrong way. Where are you? There you are. Right, so we're going to start off with something I've lost. Where did I put it? Sorry. Because this week's every 2 weeks these shows, you've not spotted that. But on today's show, the Horror Movie Massacre excerpt will be from part 15 of the Horror Movie Massacre, which is in the Fright Night quiz book at the moment. It will be in a standalone book 2 of the Horror Movie Massacre sometime, maybe 2020 or 2021. But yeah, it's because this bit of the story, it doesn't quite have a wrong turn, but it's got a turn. So that'll have to do you. Leonard, right, this is the story now. Leonard drove the car up into the woods until we were out of sight of the highway. I had thought he'd done this to give me some privacy, but this wasn't the case. As soon as he pulled the handbrake, I opened my door. Back in a minute. Outside, in the beautiful woodland location, I found a place with ease to be out of his sight. But, aside from answering the call of nature, what the hell was I going to do? I'd already decided he was going to be my victim, but waiting until we got to the hotel could make things too complicated. He wasn't about to let some relative stranger start bothering him when he had a job to do. It was dawning upon me that I had to kill him now, and then drive his corpse up to the hotel. If his room was already booked, as I'm sure it would be, I think I've made an error here. Oh, this show is terrible for finding errors in my books. You don't know how many rewrites I've had to do. All I had to do As I'm sure it would be. All I had to do was assume his identity and be handed over the keys. Easy. You know what's really annoying is, sorry about that, is I've just made a change to the Fright Night quiz book because of something I needed to tweak in the Horror Movie Massacre, and now I'm going to find a bloody typo. Oh, well, that's upset. That's upset the whole nature of this show. It's going to go downhill from here. Or well, maybe you never thought it was uphill to begin with. But anyway, I'll make a note of that. I just put I there. Right. But the part that wasn't going to be very easy was killing him right now. I looked up at the trees, hoping to find some inspiration from my dear friends. Possibly their branches could help me. I could find a heavy one and clobber him over the head with it, although there wasn't much room to swing in a car. Maybe a sharp branch? Stab him in the neck, quick and fast. I knew I had to do something. Now was the only opportunity to strike. Damn it, I didn't feel prepared at all for this. This wasn't how the whole thing was supposed to go down. As providential as meeting Leonard had been, it was also a premature encounter. And then, the totally unexpected happened. I turned around to find Leonard standing behind me. His expression was blank. His appearance was morose and menacing. He was wearing black gloves, and he was holding a small hunting knife. He quickly raised it before I could react, and swiftly sliced into my flesh. And that's how that particular excerpt of a particular, what's the word? Chapter ends. Part, because it's serialised, isn't it? So that's the end of that part, and part 16 just came out, yeah, in the Blair Witch quiz book. Oh, wouldn't you like to know what happens next, eh? You have to buy the book. It's very good, the Blair Witch quiz book. Because, no, I just mean it's very good design. Anyway, the studio guest I've managed to bring in, you won't believe this, I've got the wrong turn itself. Come in, wrong turn! No, there's no way I could possibly have a sound effect for a wrong turn. I mean, how do you do that? So I've I wanted to get the wrong turn, but I didn't know how you do a sound effect for a wrong turn. I'll stop waffling on now. I've got the crossbow instead. Please welcome the crossbow from... Oh, it's gone off already. Oh, bang, bang. Oh, there it is. Thank you very much. Crossbow. And crossbow will be coming back at the end of the show. To say goodbye to you all. Right, so we may as well do some questions. Let's go straight to some questions from Wrong Turn. Are your ears ready? Are they prepared? Wrong Turn. Here we go. At the beginning of the first film, number 1, what are the two characters, Rich and Haley doing? Is that Haley? It's spelled Hallie. Is that right? I'm sure I haven't made a mistake, have I? Just looking at the cast, I can't find Haley. Can't find it. There isn't a Haley. Oh right, no, they're those two climbers, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, that's the answer. What are Rich and Haley doing when they're both killed by the cannibals? Oh, absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, you know that one now. Number 2, what are the names of the 3 main cannibals in the Wrong Turn movies? You may have heard one of them in the opening song there. Number 3, how many films in the Wrong Turn film series are actually prequels? Number 4, in Wrong Turn, why is medical student Chris in such a big rush at the start of the movie? And number 5, what does the road sign say that Chris looks at when he's faced with the decision between the roads? Is it, and you've got a choice again here, no entry, Bear Mountain Road, Detour, or Snake Mountain Road? There are opening 5 questions. A jingle. Pring, opening 5. That's not the jingle. We'll work on something. It will come soon, I'm sure it will. And it'll be a lot of fun when it does arrive finally, that jingle. I know you're all looking forward to it, as am I. Right, so they're opening 5. I should say, coming up later in the show, we've got an amazing special guest. We have got Rob Schmid himself, director of the first movie. unfortunately, he won't be here himself, as usual. I shall be providing his vocals via my own vocal cards. But he did an interview very kindly for the What's Your Favourite Scary Movie book. So we'll be listening to his 13 answers. He gives some good answers, let me tell you that. That's worth hanging on for, hanging on. So do hang on. Don't go. Don't fast forward. Can you fast forward on a podcast? You can. Yeah, I guess you can. It's not as easy as the old tape machines when you pressed fast forward, is it? You have to grab your mouse and pull a thingy, don't you? Any road. I wanted to give you a little anecdote about my first viewing of Wrong Turn. I just realised I've forgotten to do something, which is very annoying. That's thrown me. Because one thing I want to do, I just want to talk about a recent movie that I've seen, and I was going to dig one out because my memory is dreadful. I can't remember what I've just seen. I was going to look at my collection over there. Oh, right, I can see one. Right, I know what we'll... No, we won't do that one. I'm going to have to go over to the other side of the room in a second to have a look at those. You'll wait, won't you? You'll hang on. I'll just put that down in my notes. Blu-ray collection. And hopefully I'll remember what that means. But you'll tell me, won't you? In case I forget. Yeah, the first time I saw Wrong Turn, I was in Dublin, and my friend Bernard was getting married. Bernard is female, and that's not her real name. Bernard actually is the person who provides the scream at the beginning of each episode of this show, which was from a short film that we did, which you can see on YouTube. Don't go into the garage. Don't go into the garage. And that scream features in there. And so it was the day before Bernard's wedding that, weirdly, we went to go and rent a movie. I don't know why, because we never watched it on that day. But that's Bernard. Bernard's crazy. She's quite crazy, like myself. So yeah, we rented it for no reason and just stuck it in the room somewhere. And then Bernard went on to get married, and which is a really groovy wedding, probably one of the best I've been to. There's so many great moments, particularly going in a limousine through the streets of Dublin. And I remember I had my sunglasses on and my suit, and I was waving out of the back window of the car, and there was people like, woo! Thinking, I felt like a celebrity, even though I'm not. But yeah, it was a great day. And like after the whole shebang had ended, and Bernard went off with her hubby to the Castle Hotel or whatever it was, it was me and Steve Seeger and Kath somebody. I can't remember Kath's surname. Soz Kath. Got her on Facebook though. Yeah, we went back to the Bernard's apartment, and we watched Wrong Turn. And we stayed up. It was like, I don't know, must have been like 1 or 2 in the morning by then maybe. And we put Wrong Turn on. And, it's just like, it's just terrific watching it that first time. It's like the perfect movie for that moment. Not that it's any relation to Bernard's wedding, but, it's just like a great end to a great day, seeing this great movie. And there's the earring there. She sees her. I'm just looking at the movie in the mirror. The movie in the mirror. Yeah. Maybe I should always do this. You can have the movie in the mirror. It just sounds better. Movie in the BG, movie in the mirror. I only need to do this if I've got a Region A Blu-ray then. Yeah, I'm just watching it now. If you excuse me while I watch it. I'll stop watching it. I've watched Wrong Turn like 2 million times. Now, I'm not even exaggerating. I do watch Wrong Turn an awful lot. I just dig it. And it's many, many sequels. So let's have a fact from one of those many, many sequels, shall we? Because this is a great fact. I love this one. Even though it involves somebody's death. There's me laughing. Sorry. But this should fulfill our true crime quota for the show. But we've also got some serial killer questions coming up about cannibals, which will further fill the the true crime quota. Right, Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort. Directed by Valery Milev. The producers of Wrong Turn 6 made the rather dubious decision to include the photograph of an actual missing person in the film without any approval whatsoever. The photograph had been provided to the press to help locate 66-year-old Stacia Pearson from County Wexford in Ireland, who was later found dead, having suffered from a heart attack and falling into a river. When Purcell's family were informed that her image had been used to depict a missing 81-year-old man in the horror flick, they took legal action against the film's distributor, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. As a result of the court case, all DVD and Blu-ray copies of the film were recalled from distribution. I remember that as well when the film came out. And then you couldn't get it for love and the money. It disappeared. And it was really annoying because I so nearly bought it. I thought it was going to be rubbish. So I held off on buying it, maybe wait until it came out a bit cheaper. Actually, seeing it now, though, I quite like Part 6. It's quite like all of them, really. I'm very diplomatic, aren't I? But they're all entertaining enough, aren't they? They're all fun. I'll tell you which one I like more than you. I like it more than you. Is Blood Turn 5. Blood Turn 5. Bloodlines. Bloodlines is a lot of fun. And of course, got some great horror movie alumni in there. Well, just the one. It's got our Doug Bradley. Good old Doug. Mr. Pinhead himself, who pops up as Maynard Odets. Yeah, it's got a good story to Part 5. It had a sort of a Rio Bravo feel to it, which I quite liked. Anyway, that Part 6 fact. Yeah, that's it's crazy. So now in Part 6 though, it's all been blurred out. You can still see all the posters, the missing people posters, but they're all blurred. They blurred them out there. Which was disappointing. I wanted to see No, I didn't. It's not really true crime, that is it? Does that doesn't quite fit the true crime quota? I was trying to find a good wrong turn true story. Oh, there is the actual inspiration. Let me just chuck this over there. The inspiration, which I've got somewhere here. Yeah, Sawney Bean. Sawney Bean was said to be the head of a 45-member clan in Scotland in the 16th century that murdered and cannibalised over 1,000 people in the span of 25 years. According to legend, Bean and his clan members would eventually be caught by a search party sent by King James the 6th and be executed for their heinous crimes. Heinous, that's a great word. The story appeared in the Newgate Calendar, a crime catalogue of Newgate Prison in London. The legend lacks sufficient evidence to be deemed as factual by historians, though, and there is a debate as to why the legend would have been fictionalised. Nevertheless, the myth of Sawney Bean has passed into local folklore and has become part of the Edinburgh tourism circuit. So there you go. So 1,000 people though, eh? Bloody Scots. I'm joking. Don't take that one to to heart. Everybody gets offended, don't they, these days? We live in a land where I'm offended by that. It's really hurt me, that. Oh, I tell you, it's broken my leg listening to that. It's offended me so bloody much. I mean, come on, everybody. We all get offended by stuff. Let it go. Let it slide. Be offended. Be offended and enjoy it. No. That's Sawney Bean. Sawney Bean, you can go. Sawney's gone. Let's have the answers now to those opening 5 questions, shall we? And they are: Number one was the beginning of the film. I'm looking at the wrong one again here because I'm. The answer was weirdly Scotland. And I thought, how is it Scotland? Number one, yes, they were rock climbing, which I accidentally gave away when I was trying to remember who those characters were myself. Number two, the main three are Three Finger, the main three killers, Three Finger, Sawtooth, and One Eye. And number three, how many of the Wrong Turn films are prequels? It's actually 3 of them, if you can believe it. Bloody Beginnings, Bloodlines, and Last Resort. And I do believe the new one is supposedly a prequel as well. Which I got a little bit of an update here from 2 months back. Because the movie's still not plopped onto our horror landscape, shall we say? Is that a good turn of phrase? The director, Mike P. Nelson, says, I honestly have very little news, but I can say we have just completely finished the movie this past week, and it's just wild. The next steps will be in the hands of our distributor. So there you go. It's wild. It's got Matthew Modine in it, hasn't it? Bit of a star. Just had a funny noise. Could have been a cannibal somewhere lurking around the vicinity. So yeah, the Foundation is still on the way. Mike P. Nelson now. Who the hell is he? Let's have a look. Mike, who are you? Mike, can you just... Sorry about the clicks. You know that. It's part of the show now. The Huge Horror Click podcast. He's done lots of sound work. Oh, he's got 11 credits as director. And sorry, I don't recognise any of them. Is that Summer School? The Summer School? No, it's... Oh, it is a horror film. He's done horror films. It's got 268 votes. I like the poster. Having spent the last 3 days watching crappy B-grade horror movies to catch up on his website movie reviews, Charles attempts to attend his first day of summer school. All he wants to do is get his physics class out of the way before starting senior year. Attending summer school as well, by court order no less, are 2 of Charles's friends, Dennis and Steve. Also his crush Lindsay appears to be finally noticing him. If his teacher, Mrs. Wickham, doesn't drive him insane, what lurks in the school just might. It's a dreadful plot. Ain't it? Got someone called Lance Hendrickson in it, rather than Lance Henriksen. It's clever, isn't it? Get people who sound like the famous. I've always thought of doing that, just getting like... names that are just close enough, Arnold Schwarzenegger or something is in my movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Well, I don't know, I'm picking action stars. Harrison Ford. Some people say Harrison Ford as Harrison Ford, don't they? Anyway. Sorry. tickly throat there. And number 4 in Wrong Turn. Why is Chris going to where's he going in the first place? He's going to a job interview before he makes his terrible wrong turn and everything goes wrong. Number 5, what does the road sign say that makes him get that wrong turn? The road sign the road sign says wrong turn. Take this. No, it doesn't really. Imagine if it did, though. That'd be like something you'd do in a scary movie, in one of the scary movie spoofs. Which I think they did. I think that's in there. Yeah, it's Bear Mountain Road is the road that heralds his. Oh, on the movie in the mirror there. Oh, some grisly moments here. Oh, she's got the barbed wire all through her mouth there. It's where they bring her back to that little sordid cabin, because a lot of people sort of say, don't they, that Wrong Turn is just hugely derivative of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's got similarities, but it's nothing like it really. It's a completely different movie. It's its own movie. Anyway, you can go, Mike. Thank you, and I just wanted to look at Something I've just... yeah, of course. No, wrong one. Yeah, it's the user reviews, the weird negative reviews of people, because one of them is completely original, except that it is a rip-off of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that they're trying to be ironic, aren't they? You know, I love the story about how a group of teenagers... Oh, that's huge, that review. I'm not reading that. Steaming pile of... An hour and a half of a time waste. The premise is bad. The physics are off. What? And all topped off by a bunch of stupid killers. Well, yeah, obviously they're stupid. That's part of the story. And even more stupid and vacuous victims. 20 minutes into the movie, the heroes had a chance to kill off the sleeping killers and put an end to the fiasco of a movie, but didn't. Why? What do you mean, why? Well, there wouldn't be a movie then. It'd be over in 20 minutes. What, you think, Jarrett H., you think that a better movie would have been, he makes the wrong turn, they go to the cabin, find the killers sleeping, and then kill them, and then your movie's over in 20 minutes. You believe, Jarrett, that would have been a better film, do you? And then he has the audacity to say, crappy writing. Well, your movie would have been a lot worse, because it would have been over after 20 minutes, and they would have just killed a bunch of sleeping killers. Ugh. If this were 1983, I'd give it a 5, but this is 2003. Don't even try this in this decade. This crap's been done all before and before and before. I hope this comment prevents just one fine viewer from ever laying their eyes on this stank. Is that correct? Do you say that? They're laying their eyes on this stank? I don't get it. 1 out of 10 for poor directing, writing, and wasting my time. Shame on you! Oh dear, Jarrett H. Let's look at your past. 28 days later, who in heavens thought this dreck was scary? And then we got Embrace of the Vampire, another forgettable film. Yes, it is. I don't think anybody's seen that, have they? Freddy vs. Jason, an epic struggle between two horror titans. He liked that one. That's good. Well done. Final Destination 2, more holes than 10 pounds of Swiss cheese. Hilarious. And then he's done Spider-Man. He quite liked that. It was a worthwhile watch. Daredevil, superb. He loved that one. Jeepers Creepers, a fetid waste of celluloid. And Star Wars Episode 2, more kissy-kissy than in Titanic. George, stick to sci-fi. Fair enough. Yeah, obviously wouldn't have liked Jeepers Creepers. He didn't like Wrong Turn. I don't know why. They're similar. Not really, are they? I don't know what I'm waffling. I'm waffling. Let's do the next 10 questions. Here they are. And it's number 6 now. Whilst driving along the road, what distracts Chris and ultimately causes him to crash his car? And number 7. Which severed part of Evan does his girlfriend Francine find in the woods just before she's also killed? Oh, sorry, I give that one away, didn't I? Number 8. Before entering the cabin that the group finds in the woods, which movie does Scott remind everybody about to caution them? Oh, I bet I know. It's the one everybody uses, isn't it? Number 9. How is Scott killed after he runs off into the woods alone? And number 10. What one of the Wrong Turn movies led to a court case, as the filmmakers had featured an actual missing person's photograph in the film? True or false? Well, you all know that now. Bloody giving it away. It's true, isn't it? Right, let's wheel him into the studio. It's Rob Schmidt! Woo! Hello, Robbie. Hello. That's not him. So, Rob Schmidt, he did Wrong Turn, and he did an episode of Masters of Horror. He did the Right to Die one. A film called The Alphabet Killer, and then The Worst Thing About Coming Out in 2012. He might have done more since then. Has he done more horror? Sorry about clickies. Rob, what have you been up to recently? He's done something called The Valley, which is in pre-production. And he did a Frankenstein. What? which sounds like horror, doesn't it? No, it's a sci-fi TV movie with 5 votes, but it's got 6.2. And Michael Ironside's in it, or is it Michael Ironseed? No, it's the actual Michael Ironside. I don't know what the valley is. It could be horror. It's war. Shame on you, Rob, giving up on horror. You made a beautiful movie like Wrong Turn, and then I've done enough of horror. Right, anyway, what's your favourite scary movie, Robert? Cannibal Holocaust. And I've been really liking It Follows. Yeah, me too. Who was your favourite horror movie director? Wes Craven, of course. Oh, I thought you might have said Toby Hooper. What's your favourite type, subgenre of horror movie? My favourites are adventure horrors where the heroes need to struggle through some kind of extreme event. My next favourite are good ghost stories, but really anything that affects me, I'm into. I do think I prefer movies like Wrong Turn, where the heroes win, but then there is It Follows, with no escape, and I loved it. Keep yakking on about It Follows, Rob. Anyway, what's your favourite bad horror movie? I wouldn't call it bad, but 2000 Maniacs, 1964, is a movie I love that many folks would consider bad. It has some incredibly disturbing scenes and a strange ghost plot, along with a South will rise again as angry ghosts thing happening. It also has some great performances, including one of the maniacs cutting off a woman's pinky. I've lost the accent. And acting disturbed, but not nearly as disturbed as I would, while the maniac grins and watches her. I suspect the performances are untrained actors trying to do their best in a very odd scenario, but the whole thing comes together in such a surreal and troubling way that it's happily burned into my memory. Great. Thanks, Robbie. What would be your favourite horror double feature drive-in choice? Heck, I don't know about a double feature, but I know the triple feature I wish I had been at. An old hippie friend told me he saw Night of the Living Dead at a drive-in out in the country near Nashville when the film originally came out in 1968. It was the third film after 2 regular grindhouse horrors that he couldn't recall. It was a mainly rural white audience, and as the film started to play out, there was a very uneasy feeling of confusion and then anger on the driving grounds. Some people shouted at the scream. Some pickup trucks left in the middle. My friend and the other hippies that had ventured out to the drive-in tried to hide in their van as the most amazing horror film they had ever seen played out in front of them, with a black leading man being killed by rednecks on screen, while angry rednecks tried to make sense of having to watch a movie with a black leading man. Blimey. It's a very heavy answer, that, Rob. What's your favourite horror movie killer? Bill Moseley's Chop Top, or Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs. I like when Hannibal makes the yummy sound after thinking about fava beans. Yes, we all like that, Rob. Oops, sorry. We all like that, Rob. It's not just you. What is your favourite horror movie creature monster? I love Nosferatu and all the stuff Lon Chaney did. Of my stuff, Three Finger from the original Wrong Turn. Julian Richards played him as the mama of the 3 bears, and the executives thought he wasn't scary, and they tried to prevent him from doing his laugh and cackle. It was an awesome on opening night when kids in the theater parking lot were imitating his laugh to try and frighten each other. Great answer that. What is your favourite horror movie franchise? I like Wrong Turn. Oh, for God's sakes, Rob. Are all your answers about Wrong Turn? Sorry, carry on. I like Wrong Turn because it paid for a good deal of my house. But as far as being trapped on a desert island goes, the best ever is all Evil Dead media. I am desperate to see Ash vs. Evil Dead. It should be pointed out at this juncture that when this interview was conducted, Ash vs. Evil Dead wasn't yet out. Okay, carry on. What's your favourite horror movie sequel? Don't say Wrong Turn 2. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yes, but that's quite similar to saying Wrong Turn too, isn't it? What's your favourite horror movie remake? And don't say no. I get a lot of pleasure from the remake of Dawn of the Dead. And now, what's your favourite horror movie? What's your favourite horror television show? The Kingdom, by Lars von Trier. The most awesome part is Udo Kier. I live in Atlanta, so shout outs to The Walking Dead, Sleepy Hollow, The Vampire Diaries, and Drop Dead Diva. What's your favourite zombie movie? I am really moved by the original Night of the Living Dead, but the movie that inspired my childhood was the original Dawn of the Dead. What do you mean it inspired your childhood? Sorry, carry on. And what has been your favourite Halloween costume? Big answer here. So, big answer warning. My favourite costume is the skeleton attached to my back and chasing me that I keep trying to build, which I'm ripping off I've lost it. I've lost the show. Sorry. My favourite costume is the skeleton attached to my back and chasing me that I keep trying to build, which I'm ripping off from some footage of a giant street party in Latin America. But my favourite costume that I've actually managed to put on was a bunch of rags when I was a kid. We didn't have a lot of money and my mom was working all the time, but we met her at a Woolworths and she let me buy 2 loose rubber gloves that made it look like your hands were green and covered with warts. They were cheap and they made my hands sweat. In the Halloween parade, most kids had store-bought costumes, which I envied. But I had my rags and my wig, which was a dried-up old string mop I had found in the furnace room. Anyways, I took off the gloves because they were too sweaty, and when the parade started, I realized I'd lost one of them. So I tried to cover my bare hand by covering it with my wart-covered hand and rubbing it around like I was nervous and conniving, so it wouldn't just seem like I was covering for the lack of costume, either because they felt sorry for me or because a 9-year-old white boy wearing rags and an almost certainly dried puke-covered mop on his head while rubbing his hands together looked pretty creepy. I won the scariest costume award. So that's been my favourite Halloween costume, Killian. Thanks, Rob. Go now, will you? Bye-bye. Off Rob goes, and thanks for those bizarre answers, Rob. Oh, no, we've not done the answers to those questions, have we? So, why does he crash his car? Which leads to the terrible chain of events of the Wrong Turn movie. Maybe that Jared, whatever he was called, would have preferred as well that he didn't crash his car, and he didn't even make a wrong turn. Would you have liked that, Jared? Sorry, Jarrett's really upset me, and he's probably upset you too, hasn't he? Let's try. We'll try and soldier on, though. You've gone to me, Jarrett. Yes. So, what causes the car crash? It is the deer. He sees a dead deer on the roadside. Number 7. Which severed part is seen? It's the ear, which I pointed out. I'd seen that in the movie in the mirror. And number 8, before entering the cabin that the group finds, the movie that he references obviously is Deliverance, the go-to movie if you want to talk about hillbilly madmen in the woods. It's getting a bit Deliverance out here, isn't it? Oh, that's a clever reference. One of the Wrong Turns movies led to a court case. Yeah, we know that. Sorry, how is Scott killed after he runs off into the woods alone? He is shot multiple times with arrows. And we'll just bring the crossbow in here. There you go. You get an impression of what... Yep, thank you. What that's... Oh, I didn't mean to press it again. We've had it twice now, thanks to the arrow. Just... Oh, bloody hell. Right. You stopped? Thank you. Yep, and the 10th one was true. Yeah, it's Wrong Turn 6... with the real missing persons photograph. So all we have to do now is to look at... Oh yeah, we're going to do that as well once I have Blu-ray collection. That's where I have to go over to that side of the room. And we're looking at the horror movie manual though now, very briefly. God, I've got too much to do. What's happened? Times have run away with us. In the in the manual, turn is the word turn. Not advisable to make a wrong one, especially in West Virginia. Thanks for that, Killian Gore. Hilarious. And I've got a bookmark in this page, and I don't know why. Why? What? Looking at all the words here, I don't see anything. Oh, shortcut. Yeah, because that's how he ends up in such a predicament, isn't it? He's trying to take a shortcut. Thingy. What's his name? Can't find it. Chris. Yeah, Chris. Desmond Harrington. Desmond Harrington was Chris. What I've not seen him in much else. What's he been up to? Oh, he kind of stops, doesn't he, there, in 2016 with the Neon Demon. He was briefly in the Dark Knight Rises, and his character is just police officer on bridge. Oh, what's happened to you, Chris? Desmond, sorry, his real name's Desmond Harrington. Anyway, shortcut, the name of an off-road, shorter route to a particular location. It is not advised that you take one in a horror movie. Just go the long way round. Jarrett would like that. Our dear friend Jarrett. And the other one was roadkill. A dead animal on the road, often seen at the beginning of a horror movie to let you know that bad things are about to happen. That's the horror movie manual. Hooray. That's all I've done with. I'm just going to, very briefly, go... Just you wait there. I'll keep talking. I was going to grab a film that I'd recently seen, wasn't I? And I've not got one. I thought that was one. So we'll skip that this week in this one. I can't think of what film I've seen recently. Oh yes, I've got one. Yippee! Fantasy Island. Saw that Fantasy Island recently. That was cleanly done, wasn't it? Yeah, that I don't know if you would say that polarised people so much as most people slagged it off. I thought it was all right. Do you know, I thought it got very muddled though, for me. I'm scratching my arm there. There you go. Yeah, it looked nice, the whole film. Nice design. Good enough acting. Very good acting. And I liked how it sort of referenced... I've never seen the original Fantasy Island, so it was all new to me. But I quite like the story of it. But it's just in that particular movie, I thought it got very muddled up. It got a bit boring in places. Maybe they focused on too many stories and characters, and then it had this other plot line, which I'm not quite sure about. And by the end of it, it took me head in. But yeah, it had enjoyable in part. Let's say that it kicked off well. I was liking it for a while. And then it was like, oh, what's going on? I don't get this. It's all gone a bit of a muddle. 2 minutes talking, like this show. It's all got a bit talky, and that's Fantasy Island. See it for yourself if you want. So we're going to have to skip to the final 10 questions. Run out of time. This one's going to overrun again. They're only supposed to be 10 minutes. Not really. The final 10, here they come. What does Carly find in the watchtower that the surviving members of the group think might help them? Number 12. After Jesse is abducted and taken back to the cabin, how does Chris make his way there? And number 13. When Chris returns to the gas station at the end of the movie, what does he take from there? And number 14. During the end credits, there is a further scene showing a police officer at the wreckage of the cabin. How is he killed? And number 15, which episode of Masters of Horror did Wrong Turn director Rob Schmidt direct? Was it Family, Pelts, or Right to Die? Well, it was Right to Die, because I've already said it, haven't I? Number 16, which of the Wrong Turn movies am I describing? Ekute. There's a serial killer, a festival, a prison cell, a motel, and a snowblower. Number 17, what is the name of the reality TV show featured in Wrong Turn 2 Dead End? Is it The Apocalypse Ultimate Survivalist, Apocalypse Survivor, or Apocalypse Survivors? Apocalypse... That's not very fair of me, is it? Two of those are very similar. Moving on. Which horror TV show is Wrong Turn 2 Dead End composer Bear McCreary I know of Bear McCreary. I just couldn't read his name then. Most well known for. Number 19. How many of the Wrong Turn movies were directed by the same man, Declan O'Brien? And number 20. Which iconic horror performer starred in Wrong Turn 5? Oh, damn it, Bloodlines, as Maynard Oddets. Giving that one away. Doug Bradley. It's inevitable, really, isn't it, in the show? Unless I started off with all 20 questions. Write this down. Could start off with all 20 questions and then do all the other crap. Okay, did you write that down? Did you? And you could perhaps fax it to me. Even though I've not got a fax, but I'll somehow I'll cope. I'll cope. Right, so there was the final 10, and I was gonna do what else have I got? What else have I got for you? I don't think I've got. Oh yes, there were some further horror movie manual entries. We got arrow, a sharp, thin implement that is shot from a bow, usually by Robin Hood. It also comes in handy as a method to kill folk in horror movies. Sawtooth in the Wrong Turn movies enjoys twanging an arrow at people, and Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th movies has also flirted with an arrow or two as a death purveyor. I think that's it for Wrong Turn. Clickety-click. Oh, cannibal. Yeah, well, we might look at cannibals in a different episode. So I can close that. I was going to do a few cannibal-related questions from the serial killer quiz book just to fill our true crime quota. But I think we've done that now, haven't we, with Sawney Bean? You're not interested in all quotas, are you? That I have to fulfill. I don't have to fulfill them, really. They're just just the way this show rolls. So I think we've covered everything. We're just going to do the last 10 answers, and then I'll get out your ear old. Right. Let's have a look. I've lost it. I've done it again. How many times do I do this? Taking out the bookmark like an Aegis. Number 11. What does Carly find in the watchtower that she thinks might help? She finds a radio. It doesn't help though, I don't think. I think that scene's on now in the mirror or something. They're in that watchtower. And this smoke, it's where the cannibals below are trying to smoke them out. Clever that, isn't it? I'd do that if I had some people trapped up a watchtower. I'd set fire to it. Right, number 2. Forgetting where I'm up to. I had murderous thoughts. Damn these murderous thoughts. Number 12. After Jesse is abducted and taken back to the cabin, how does Chris make his way there? Smucky is the answer. I'm reading for the wrong, because it was on that side of the page. I've changed page. He clings to the bottom of the police vehicle driven by one of the mutant cannibals. 13. When Chris returns to the gas station at the end of the movie, what does he take from there? He takes that map that showed the wrong turn, so nobody else can take it. But they carried on taking it, didn't they? Well, only in. Can hear somebody outside. I hope it's not a bear or a giddler. Number 14. During the end credits, there is a further scene showing a police officer at the wreckage of the cabin, and how is he killed? He is axed by one of the surviving mutants. 15. Which episode? Yeah, we know is Right to Die from Masters of Horror. And 16. The wrong turn that I was describing was, of course, one of my favourites, Wrong Turn 5. Where are we? The name of the reality show was The Apocalypse Ultimate Survivalist. The director of that one's quite good, isn't he, for popping up on commentaries? Excuse me while please excuse me while I tell to how I feel. Joe Lynch, of course, he does the commentaries with Adam. Oh no, what's the Hatchet director called? Adam. It's gone. With Adam, anyway. He does those with Adam, doesn't he? Adam. Oh, it nearly came to me then. In fact, it's bothering me so much. I'm going to look it up. It's Adam Green. Thank you. Internet Movie Database. Yeah, what's Joe Lynch done recently? Just commentaries. He does some acting in Holliston. And director Point Blank. What was that? The Point Blank remake? No, it wasn't. That's Point Break I'm thinking of. It's not much horror, though. What is he playing at? Mayhem in 2017. Oh, it's got action, comedy, and horror. Should do more out and out horrors, Joe. For God's sakes. Right. 18, the horror TV show. Bear McCready is The Walking Dead. You all know that. How many of the Wrong Turn movies are directed by that guy that I just said? 3 of them. Declan O'Brien did. He did parts 3 to 5. Good old Declan. Thanks for that, Declan. You've been very busy for us. Can I just see, if you're interested, Declan... what are you up to, Declan? Oh, he did one of the Joyride movies, 3, Roadkill, and that's it, really. He's kind of stopped with his horror movies. What's wrong with you people? Keep making movies for me, please, and everybody else. It's quite funny, though, with Joyride 3, because over here in the UK, it was... the Joyride movies are called Roadkill. Sorry, no, that's wrong. No, the Roadkill. Yeah, sorry, in America they're called Joyride, aren't they? Yes. Over here they're called Roadkill. So technically, Joyride 3, Roadkill, over here should be called Roadkill 3, Roadkill. Anyway, the last question you already know the answer to. It's Doug Bradley. So that's it. I've been Killian Gore. You've been listening to the Huge Horror Movie Podcast. Stumbled over that right at the end. I do hope you enjoyed it. We are now on Spotify, I think, and Apple Podcasts, on iTunes, and Podbean, of course. So please follow, and whatever else you do what you can. That'll do. And dooby-doo, wrong turn, over and out. Thank you for listening.